Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Today is the first episode of our Wisdom Bites. The idea and the concept is basically personality development via the thoughts of wise thinkers and philosophers. So today we have with us Mr. Saurav. He is a very famous banker and he's very intelligent. He's with us from long time, and I am inspired by his thoughts and thinking process. So we have specially invited him. Then we have with us Amna Hussain. She's with NAVAFIZ since 2013. And she is very active in supporting job seekers. She has done more than 800 CV review online and multiple offline. She is very talented HR professional. Then we have with us uh, Zoya Usman Siddiqui. Zoya is an HR professional. She is very active and very soon she is going to be an entrepreneur.
Inshallah.
So
Thank you.
we welcome Zoya. Then
Thank you.
we have with us Mr. Hassan Farooq. Hassan Farooq is a very famous accountant in the accounts field. He is a public speaker. He is very active in the Toastmaster activities. Toastmaster is a leadership building and speaking forums. So we will be starting with our first participant, Mr. Saurav Anand. Welcome, Saurav.
Thanks a lot, Yakrit, and my best wishes to the other speakers as well.
Yeah. Saurabh, before I start, I would like to thank you for sparing your time from your busy schedule. And just for the audience, the idea of this session is basically coming from the concept that there are people who talk about. Normally, there are three kind of discussions in progress. People who talk about people. Then there is a category of the people who talk about events, and the best category of the people is who talk about the ideas. So mainly we are targeting the ideas. So through ideas we are learning, and through learning we are improving in the our personality development. So Saurav, once again, welcome to the first episode. Today from the wisdom of Aristotle, what you are going to highlight?
Yeah, earlier. In my brief speech, I would like to touch upon two things of Aristotle. Friends, welcome to the session. I'm sure you would have heard of Aristotle, who was a great Greek philosopher who lived in the 4th century BC, and is also famous because he was the teacher of Alexander the Great. The first quotation of his that I would like to touch upon is as follows: anybody can become angry, that is easy. But to become angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. In fact, these are the opening lines of a famous book called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Critical aspects. First one is right person. The second is right degree. The third is right time. The fourth is right purpose. And the fifth is right way. Now, in his famous book, Daniel Goleman talks about several instances where people have become angry, and that anger has led to disastrous consequences for people involved. In fact, there's a particular instance where a bright student of physics repeatedly stabbed his high school physics teacher just because he was given a score of 80 or a grade B in a high school quiz, because the student felt that it would adversely impact his chances of making it to the Harvard Medical School. Trivial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Goleman believes that there are three essential qualities that together constitute what is called as emotional intelligence. And these are self-control, zeal, and persistence, and the ability to constantly motivate oneself. Now, obviously, going back to Aristotle's quotation, he is referring to self-control. And that is the first quality of emotional intelligence as per Daniel Goleman as well. Now, I would like to cite a couple of real world incidents where the people involved controlled their anger, showed a lot of self restraint, and that led to remarkable achievements in various fields, the fields that they were part of. The first example that I'd like to cite pertains to Mahatma Gandhi, who is widely regarded as India's father of the nation. The incident is uh, of a city called Pietermaritzburg in South Africa, where Mohanlal Karamchand Gandhi, a practicing barrister in those days, was traveling in a first class compartment. He was forced to vacate the first class compartment by the officials just because of his skin color, because at that time, racial discrimination or what was called as apartheid was in place. But he chose to respond completely different. And it was that response that transformed him from an ordinary barrister to the Mahatma that the world knows him as. He led a peaceful and non-violent struggle against British colonial rule and against all odds, won independence for the Indian nation in the year 1947. So obviously, he was able to overcome that feeling of anger and was able to achieve something that was beyond the ordinary realm. The second that comes to mind is from the world of sports, namely cricket. I'm sure a lot of people in India and Pakistan are fond of the game, and I found that easy people could read. It's the 2007 2020 World Cup, which was the first ever World Cup that was introduced. The match was being played between India and England. As it was approaching the end of their innings, there was a strong altercation that happened between Yuvraj Singh and the English bowler Andrew Flintoff. Flintoff went on to sledge and insult Yuvraj Singh, and Yuvraj Singh responded in a very constrained manner, in a manner that befits someone who is really emotionally intelligent. Of the next over that was bowled by the bowler Stuart Broad, he hit six consecutive sixes, which was a world record for T20 cricket. That incident actually transformed not just the game, but the tournament, because India went on to win that first ever T20 World Cup. Coming to Aristotle that I started with, if we as individuals are able to channelize our anger in a meaningful manner, then obviously, with the right purpose in mind, which I believe is one of the key ingredients of achieving success, we can progress towards becoming what is called as emotionally intelligent, and we can contribute in more meaningful manner towards the society that we are part of and the world which we are inhabiting. So this was my take on the first quotation. I move to the second quotation of Aristotle now, which reads as follows: "You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor." So, what Aristotle is trying to mention here is he's trying to highlight the critical ingredient that is a key component of any achievement which is of a material nature in the world, and that is courage. You and I have achieved have tremendous achievements in various fields that they are part of. I would like to go back to the world of cricket for a specific example that shows how courage can help an individual achieve tremendous achievements in his chosen field of endeavor or her chosen field of endeavor. The example I'm writing here belongs to the 1989 Test match. The arch rivals India and Pakistan were part of that game, and the match was being played at Sialkot. Perhaps some of you have heard about it as part of some motivational speech, but it's still very important to remember even to this day. And India was at a score of 38 for 4 with all their major batsmen back in the pavilion. Wasim and Waqar at the time of their career, and the pitch was really unplayable. It was a 16-year-old schoolboy by the name of Sachin Tendulkar. It's straight on his nose. Blood starts to out from his nose, and the opposition team members, his partner Sidhu, and the team physio Ali Rani all rush to help him out. He should go back to the pavilion and perhaps come back once the pace battery of Wasim and Waqar was off the attack. He also asked him to consult a doctor. However, how the young Sachin responded to Sidhu's request changed the cricket, not just for India, but for the world at large for the next 24 years. He said, "Khelega," which means I will play. He went to the crease and hit the next ball from Bakar Yunus for a stunning boundary. India went on to draw that game amidst tremendous odds. So essentially, it was that strength of courage that Sachin showed amidst tremendous adversity that saved the game from a virtually impossible situation for India. I also like to say that there is a critical ingredient that goes towards building that courage, and that is hard work and perseverance. In fact, in his famous book Outliers, author Malcolm Gladwell mentions that it takes at least 10,000 hours of hard work and persistence to become master in any chosen field of endeavor. He goes on to tell the case of Beatles members, of Bill Gates, and several other superachievers who achieved success partly because of luck, but mostly because they were able to demonstrate and practice for 10,000 hours in whatever field that they decided to enter. For us to introspect and think, if we have spent the 10,000 hours of hard work and persistence that is required to become masters of the trade that we are part of, the world that is strengthening over a period of time. If not, then perhaps it's time to go back and hone those skills so that we become better versions of ourselves and are in a position to contribute better towards the organization and the society that we are part of. I'd like to thank all of you for listening to me and all the fellow speakers.
Great, great, Saurav. It was a great point that almost everyone gets angry, but he should give direct a proper angle to his anger. And by the way, the period which I have spent with you, I never see you angry, but I don't know why you choose the the topic of anger. But it was great, really. And the other point which you highlighted related to courage, that is also somehow linked with the anger situation also. And yes, courage is the main priority. And even before we going live, we were shy, and we build our courage, and then we said yes, we
Yes.
have to do this session, we have to take it. Otherwise, I was shy being on live from more than 2-3 years. We have been advised by our mentors and seniors, but still we were hesitant. So it was great. Although in between, due to some voice issues, your voice was not working, but still it was great. We had a very good points from you. Now moving on, I would like to welcome Zoya Osman once again. And
Yes.
as I told before, for our people who joined newly, Zoya Usman is HR professional. She's very experienced in the HR field. Today, although we are not on the topic of HR, but she is frequently on this expertise. She has a YouTube channel also. You can find with Zoya with the name of Zoya. She is very active on LinkedIn also. So today we have specially invited her to share her thoughts related to the wisdom of Aristotle. Yes, Zoya.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Liaquat, for this wonderful introduction. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And I feel really honored to be part of this session today. First of all, the first quote from Aristotle that I would like to talk about is that our judgments when we are pleased and friendly are not the same as when we are pained and hostile. Now, I feel that there's a great message hidden behind this quote. What I would like to tell everyone is that never develop a perception of somebody once you are not feeling happy, you are disappointed, you are agitated, you're feeling frustrated, any synonym you can attach to this sort of feeling. I feel, I feel that during that time, once we are feeling like that, the lens of a glass through which we are seeing the world is not clean. So, firstly, what we have to do first, we have to clean that lens before starting observing people, before observing the surroundings around us. So I would try to explain it in the form of a short three-step process. I feel that once we have this negativity or hopelessness or disappointment in us, this is the first step that drives our mindset. So it controls our mind and we start to think negatively. And once we have this negative mindset, it drives our behavior, which is the ultimate and the final step. And there is the big harm. So now, once we are having the negativity, it is visible in our behavior. So once we are approaching somebody with that mindset, with that perception, and not just that person is going to observe that in the form of our facial expressions, in the form of our body language, the way we will communicate, it will be visible in each and every gesture that we are going to have. But not just that person is going to observe that, but if we are, for example, entering into a gathering where other people are also interacting with us, they are also going to observe that weird sort of behavior that we will be having during that specific time period. So I would say that why we would like to expose that negative side of a personality in front of all those people, because the world is very busy and people are not going to ask you what you are passing through. Neither you are going to tell them what are the reasons behind that kind of behavior. Nobody is going to ask you about that, but it will be just a first impression that you will build, and you will carry yourself in this manner, and that will set the foundation in the minds of everyone out there. So we don't want to do that, right? So that is what I would like to say in my today's interaction with all of you, that try to avoid interacting with people if you feel, if you have got this kind of personality that you cannot control your emotions and you cannot manage it rightly. I would say that take some time, relax for some time, take a break, indulge yourself in some motivating exercises, or where you can feel, for some time, little bit productive, motivated, and then try to interact with people. If you think that you are this sort of personality and you won't be able to, manage it rightly, so that would be the right approach, because I feel that if you are not able to avoid this thing, you will definitely get trapped into vicious cycle, and it will be very difficult for you then to come out of it. For some time it will be temporary, but if you keep on doing that and you are not able to stop it, it will become your habit. There's a terminology that I would like to talk about. In EQ, we talk about this thing, or once we talk about building perceptions, it's the preconceived notions. It is a tendency where what we do, if we have a bad experience with somebody in our past, so we tend to associate the same thing, the same negativity in our future interactions as well. So we will meet somebody new, a new personality, but we won't invest time. We won't, understand that personality. We won't know the reality. But before knowing the reality, we would, have I would call it a frame of reference in our mind, which is actually a negative frame of reference. And using that, we would analyze even the new personality, even a new human being as well. And that's what we have to avoid. So this was the first quote that I wanted to talk about. The second quote, which I would like to talk about in today's session, is, "It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light." I feel that it is a very positive and motivating quote. And if you relate it to the current situation, it is definitely a challenging time, we all understand. But I feel, as per my experience and what I've experienced in my life, what I've witnessed as well, I feel that it is during these challenging times that we truly discover ourselves. And that challenge, it actually wakes us up. I think this is the right time where we truly recognize our potential. I would say that whenever you pass through these tough or challenging times, take it as a blessing from your creator. I feel that we must pass through this sort of time at least once in our life, because it is a great learning for us. Once we pass through these challenging times, we actually realize the importance of even the petty, or I would say the minor things that we have in our life, or we used to have in our life. Once our life was, all fine, we had all the luxuries, we had everything. And now once we don't have that, we actually understand the importance of those valuable things. And that's where we struggle, and we know that how much effort is required to earn those things. So I would say that once we pass through this challenge, once we come out of it, we stop taking things for granted that we used to take before. So I would say it is an assessment for us to analyze. Also, it is I would like to give this message to everyone that though we have a family members, we have a friends that we look up to them once we are passing through challenging times. But I would say that try to have this sort of thinking where you feel that it is just you, yourself, whom you can depend on, and there's nobody else whom you can hold on to. I feel that once we have this sort of mentality, this sort of mindset, it really helps us to explore ourselves, and that's where we struggle. We find the true potential in us. We put a lot of effort in order to achieve what we expect from others. Like I would say, like for example, we are hunting for jobs. Why not to just discover your potential and just create a job? So that's what I wanted to talk about. That please try to explore yourself. Try to feel that this is the right time and you will stand on your own. You have a lot of potential and you can do a lot more uh, than what you expect from others. So I think this is the time where you pick your strengths, you polish them, and you prove yourself. So yeah. So thank you.
Great, Zoya. You have highlighted very important points, which are mainly directly linked with with even daily life also,
Yes.
related to
Thank you.
emotions also, and related to troubles also, and especially while we are going through this hard time of this pandemic.
Mhm.
There are we are seeing that there are live examples that people are creating new opportunities out of these and
Right.
then again, also there are people who are still with the unstoppable attitude that whatever
Right.
comes,
Right.
whatever problems come, uh, towards the goal, they will change the path, but the goal will remain same. So
Same.
great,
Right. Right.
great
Right.
points highlighted by you. It was I really enjoyed the points. I would like to welcome now Hassan Farooq. He is into finance and account professionals. He is supporting job seekers also very actively. He is an active mentor on NAVAFIZ website. Plus, his key strength or his talent or his motivation, you can say, is to motivate others, is to guide others. So I would like to welcome Hassan Farooq. Hassan, welcome to the show, and
Yeah.
stage is
Thank,
yours.
thank you so much, Lakib bhai, for giving me the opportunity. First of all, it's really surprising for me, like to see the sort of inspiration about the cricket. So, well, I will speak two quotes for Aristotle. One is about self-awareness, and one is about emotional intelligence. I was just evaluating the thing, like as the time passes, the things and like the famous sayings will be obsolete. But Aristotle, all of their quotes still in this modern era, all of their quotes are applicable to all of our lives. It's just we have to understand the quote and apply in the right direction to for our lives. So well, my selection of two quote, one is for one is related to emotional intelligence, and the second one is related to self awareness. So first I will come to the quote related to emotional intelligence, that teaching like if you will teach your mind, teaching your mind without teaching your heart, like educating your mind without educating your heart is not an education at all. So Aristotle want to explain that if you will educate your mind, like you have professional or academic qualification, you are educating your mind, but you don't educate your heart, you are not emotionally intelligent to practically apply that knowledge. Well, let's suppose you are educated, but you are educated, you are seasoned professional, but you are not emotionally sound, you are not emotionally intelligent, then you cannot control your anger. Like sort of talk a lot about anger. You cannot control your anger, you don't know when you have to speak, with whom, what you have to speak, what you don't have to speak. So right now emotional intelligence is the vital. Even though we have two HR professionals, Amna Hussain and Zoya Zoya Siddiqui, they will endorse me about that. IQ, okay, IQ will let you, IQ is the basic for the success, but you cannot reach your goals if your EQ level is emotional quotient is not high, because you have to be emotionally intelligent to cope up with the challenges like this current challenge. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you will be into depression. You have to understand, let sometimes we have to let the things go in the flow. Sometimes we have to act with the flow. If we will not go by the flow, we will be depressed, and there is no use of being worried about something that are not in our control. So so you have to be emotionally intelligent in order to achieve your success and to reach your destiny. So this is my first quote. My second quote is about self-awareness, and as Zoya already emphasized a lot of about the self-awareness, but I will discuss self-awareness in different perspective. Here is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is the start of all the wisdom. So if you will know yourself, if you will know yourself, then you know what is your, what are your strengths, what are your weakness. If you don't know yourself, you cannot achieve a specific level of success. Self awareness is the foundation of self confidence, and if you are self confident, you already win the half battle to reach, to reach to your goals or to reach to your destiny. So this is the best time for all the people who are in quarantine or who cannot go outside to know their self. Let's suppose if we know some task or some jobs better, we can perform in that things better. But what if about knowing ourselves? Even though if we will go for a doctor, if even we will go for a doctor, doctor will examine us, then diagnose for what treatment required for us. Same, if we will not diagnose who we are, and we will not evaluate who we are, how we can, what we want to be, or what, why we are in this, why God sent us in this world. So we have to evaluate ourselves. We have to know, we have to know who we are and what are our potential. We have to unlock unlock our unlock our all the potential. So we will reach, so then the limit will be sky, then we will reach to the highest level of our goals. And I will like conclude on a note that this is the tough time. Yes, every time tough time will bring opportunity also. So this is the time, either we can make us or break us. If we will make us, we will be more strengthened once this phase will be over. Because I believe whenever life gives you lemons, make lemonades. Not miss a single opportunity to groom yourself, to improve yourself. So this is the time, best time to improve, groom, and grow after this phase. Just survive, and add on many skills in this phase till year end. Once this tough year will be passed, then you will find the market to sell these skills. This is my belief. I hope all of you have same belief. Over to you, Riakat. Yeah.
Great, Hassan. I really enjoyed the part which you have explained. Especially, I was surprised related to emotional intelligence. I mean, during my school time, college time, I never heard about this emotional intelligence. I am hearing the emotional intelligence phenomena from last 4 or 5 years. But the surprising thing is, the Aristotle said the same thing even before Christ,
Yes.
before 300 BC. He said the same things, but still our wisdom and our thinking is not reached at that level. Great point, and especially you have linked everything with the current scenario in a great way. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Now
Welcome.
moving on to our last participant, Amna Hussain. Amna Hussain is HR professional. She is with the NAVAFIZ team since 2013, and she is very active. She is a public speaker. She has conducted many live sessions, online and offline also. And I am always inspired by her personality and her way of thinking, and her approach is great. So welcome, Amna.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, and it's lovely having today with all of you. So I'm so much delightful. Thank you very much.
So, with reference to the our topic of the day, what you will be sharing? What is your thought?
Yeah, as we have discussed amazing quotes of Aristotle, and we have just learned a lot. So, the favorite one and the go-to one quote for myself, and which I like personally, is like, misfortune really shows that who are your real friends. So this is somehow I can resonate, and most of the people in life can resonate and connect to themselves, that when we are having difficult time in our life, when we are going through some troublesome moments and period in our life, so that is the true and a very unique moment that we come across the faces, which really uncovers that who are our real friends, that who are our real friends in such a way that they are they are there to support us, they are there to motivate us and say and tap back that we can go through it together. And some people are in your life that will leave you in the difficult moments. So yeah, misfortune, the bad time, difficult time really shows that who are your real friends. And the second quote, which is again somehow very deep and connecting, that he who has overcome his fears will be truly free. He who has overcome the fears will truly be free. So I personally like this quote, and it again it really connects to me personally, and most of them can connect to themselves also. It says that we are having different kind of fears. We are loaded with different kind of insecurities within ourselves. So once we try to overcome the fears, once we try to make ourselves out of come the situation, we will be free. We will be feeling such an empowerment in ourselves that, oh yes, we can do. So the best example, what I think and what I see and observe is, we can take from a baby. When he is unable to walk, when he is unable to stand by himself, he still crawls. He try and keep on crawling and creeping. Once he is stand, that is the moment he is free. Means now he is able to walk. So overcoming your fears will make you able to set your goals free, think free, and think big. So yeah, that is something I just want to share from the Aristotle quotes.
Great, great, very valid points, Amna. I'm really enjoying this show. Mostly, we are talking always about job seekers, how to hunt job, how to find profession, this and that. And today we have touched almost same thing. Basically, if someone is on the personality development strategy, and he realized himself, as Hassan said, self awareness is important, as Saurav said, courage is important, and as Zoya and Amna has highlighted also the key points. So these all play, because I think the being professional or being a person is not a single thing. It's very complex thing, we can say. So the mind is the complicated part of the body. So nowadays I am just hearing this term very often about the mind gym. So I just really felt that I am in the mind gym, and the points which I learned today, I am feeling myself with more courage and fearless also. I can face anything now. So thanks to everyone, thanks to all. I would just request my team to stay live after the end of the session also. So because our next session will be focused on the wisdom of Plato, and the third episode will go to Socrates. So before I say goodbye to my audience, I just want to say my team to stay with me. And I would like to sign off from the live session. And I would just like to thank everyone who joined. I have seen many active comments also. And I just thanks everyone for being so active and being so cooperative with us. Once again, thank you very much, and see you in the next live session very soon. Please stay in touch with the NAVAFIZ YouTube channel and website, so you will be frequently updated what's happening and what's going on. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.